What's up guys, and welcome back to part 25 of this Mercedes Minibus campervan conversion. So if you're new to the series, I'll put a link up in the top corner of the playlist covering the entire conversion of this bus from the very beginning, stripping it down to the bare chassis and building it up to, as you see now, which is almost a fully completed campervan conversion. So check the playlist if you haven't seen all the previous episodes, they'll be up in that corner. So in today's episode, I'm going to be concentrating on trying to get the bathroom fully finished off. It's all cladded out, I've got the shower in place, I've got the door in place, but I've still got to get the Thetford C200 toilet fitted in. I've got to get the hole cut into the exterior wall so the cassette for the toilet can get in and out. I've also got to do the drainage for the shower tray as well, so that's going to need a hole drilling through the shower tray, through both layers of flooring, so then I can get a waste pipe going across to the waste tank as well. And then if I get all of this done as well, there might be time for a couple of other bits and bobs, a few other odd jobs as well. But this is going to be the main thing I'm going to be concentrating on today, possibly into tomorrow, depending on how well and how quickly it all goes. So I've got a full Thetford C200 toilet that's ready to go in. That's just out here, basically ready to be mounted in. So I'm going to get that in place. I'm going to do some drawing around the actual toilet itself, just as a guideline for where the toilet's going to sit, so then I can get a good idea of where the access hole is going to need cutting in, that's going to reach through to the other side of the wall, again just to let the cassette get in and out of the toilet. So I'm going to go and get some safety gear out, some tools out, some measuring bits and bobs ready as well. We'll get the toilet in place, drill round, we'll get the hole cut, and we'll see how much we can get done in this week's episode. So let's get cracked on. Right guys, so there's the access panel hatch for the toilet fitted in place. Now it's taken a couple of little trims because I did the hole purposely smaller than what was needed, because it's a lot easier to make a small hole larger than it is to make a larger hole smaller. So I'd rather just do a little smaller hole than widen it out where it was needed, just to be sure I've got a nice snug neat fit, rather than overcutting and having to pack it in with loads of mastic and sealant and things like that. So now that hatch is in place, I can now start running beads of mastic all the way around the outside to be sure that it's going to be a nice watertight seal. Then we'll get it screwed in place as well, and then an additional bead of sealant all the way around, because I want to make sure that this hatch is going to be as waterproof as possible. But that's the biggest worrisome job done, cutting the main hole, and I'm happy with how that's come out as well. So let's get cracked on and get some of the mastic in and get this secured in place. Now before I do fit the door in, I'm going to remove all of these stripes that are running along the side of the bus as well, because the stripes do run in line with where the door is. So I've just got a heat gun and I'm going to remove all of the stripes, then I'll get the door fitted in place with all the mastic and sealant around it as well. So let's get all these stripes removed. Right guys, so that's the cassette door in on the outside of the wall. So now that's in place, I can now get the toilet in and get it fully sealed all the way around to be sure that when the toilet's in place it's going to be fully watertight and water sealed. But I know that that door itself is fully watertight with the amount of mastic that's inside, and then the tiger seal that's ran around the outside as well. That's fully waterproof. So now let's get the toilet in place, get that fully sealed in, and then we can move on to the shower tray as well. Right guys, so that is the toilet now in place. It's fully sealed all the way around as well. As you can see, I've got a nice good thick sealant of Tiger Seal as well, so this sealant is one of the best ones you can actually get. Very expensive, but it certainly does the job, and this means that this will be fully waterproof, fully water sealed by the time it's all fully set. So that's the door in, that's the toilet in. I've got the cabling wired in as well. The only thing I've got left to do is to connect the speed fit pipework onto the connection on the toilet, but I need to get a converter to go from your hose pipe type pipe onto the speed fit. So I'll do that when that arrives, because I've just ordered one of those now, but that's just a case of pushing it on and that's it. So now I'm going to nip out, go to the shops and get some of the drain and waste fittings that I'm going to need for the shower tray. We'll get this fitted in as well, and then we'll be able to get all that plumbed to the waste tank as well. So I'll pick it back up after I get back from the shops with a new drain for the shower tray. Right guys, so it's the following day. As you saw yesterday, I got the toilet in place with the full hatch going through for access into the waste cassette, as well as getting the drain fitted in the shower tray as well. Now while I was doing the door, I removed one of the strips that was running the entire length of the van, one of the sticker strips on the outside. I needed to get that off so I could then get the access hatch in for the toilet itself. But while I've got the heat gun handy now, with it being a fresh day, I'm now going to get back outside, get all of the other stripes going across all of the full length of the vehicle, fully removed again with the heat gun, as well as any other lettering and things like that that are going around the vehicle as well. So as I say, now the toilet's in place and the full hatch is in place as well, let's get back outside with the heat gun back out and let's get the rest of these stripes fully removed from the exterior of the vehicle. Right guys, so I've been cracking on, as you've seen. As I say, I've got all of the toilets and the shower room pretty much all finished off with the drain in place, the toilet in place, and that's all fully sealed. And then I've been all the way around the outside of the vehicle, removing all of the graphics, going all the way along, all of the wording, like the emergency cut-off words, things like that. All of the school bus signs and things that were up on the top corner as well. So the entire vehicle's now been fully de-signed and de-graphicked. So I've still got about an hour left of the day, so now I'm just going to start applying some of the trim just to tidy up some of the edges, especially around the bathroom. I'm going to do this one first. I've got some 25mm corner trim there, so that's just going to get mitre cut down. I'm going to do a full surround going all the way around the door frame itself, just to make that look a lot nicer and neater and a bit more professional as well. So we'll get cracked on, get some of this trim cut down. So I've got a little mitre saw here, so I should be able to get some relatively good cuts out of it as well. So we'll get these cut down, adhered on, and see what it looks like when it's all done. Right guys, so that'll do it for this week's episode, and it's been another productive weekend. As I say, the toilet's fully in, fully sealed. I've got the shower drain fully in, fully sealed as well. I've then moved on and put some trim around the entrance for the bathroom itself, just to neaten that up, and that looks nice and neat as well. Also then put a little bit of trim going around the edges of the corners, just where the separating border walls are between the living area and the bedroom area. Again, just to give it a nice and neat finish as well. And then we also went outside and we've removed all of the stickers and all of the graphics from the vehicle on both sides, front and back as well. So, as I say, that's not a bad weekend's work at all, so I'll call it there. There'll be plenty more episodes still to come though, because we're still around about 4/5 of the way through. We're almost getting there towards completion now. We're getting down towards the small little odd jobs that are just going to need ticking off as we go along. So I'll pop back next week, and if you haven't already, consider hitting that subscribe button below. It's a free button to click, and you can always unsubscribe in the future as well, but it does really help the channel grow as well. And if you made it all the way through to the end of the video, consider giving it a good old thumbs up as well. So if you missed any of the previous episodes, they're all listed on the playlist of the another Mercedes minibus campervan conversion on my channel. Have a look there, and hopefully I'll see you next week on next week's update. Thanks for watching. Cheers.